Wait. What? Sports.
That was better.
Yeah. I mean, at least you didn't sound completely like you were this time.
That's true. I'm proud of you. I'm Gina.
I'm Amy.
Dr. Robinson.
And we are back for episode, I can count now because we're over 30 and I can keep count. 31. Now, once we get so far, I'm going to lose count again. But 31 is a pretty significant number. And since I forgot to say, did I say 30 on the last episode? I don't know.
No, you didn't.
Okay, there we go. So, no, I didn't. Now you all know. We're over the 30 mark. Almost as many episodes as there is years in this room.
Cheer. Uh-huh.
Well, for some of us. But anyway. What?
Anyways.
Right.
So, doing a little housekeeping before we really get started.
Yes.
I did mention in last episode that I have taken a new position at a new library.
Yay!
Which means I have no idea what my new schedule is going to be like because they haven't told me yet.
It's like a secret.
I'm certain it's one of those things where they're like, oh, we still have 2.5 weeks before you start. And I'm sitting here going, it's only 2.5 weeks before I start.
Right. We're bumping up against holidays.
That whole perspective on it thing and not necessarily the, timetable itself.
Yeah.
But anyways, that being the case, we don't know necessarily when we'll really get to record that often. So we are probably switching to a every other week format for the foreseeable future and through the holidays. And we'll keep you advised if we need to even
push it
even further to maybe just monthly during the holiday season, depending on how busy things get for all of us.
Right. Everybody's got a little something new going on possibly in their lives, so we'll have to be announced.
Yes. But we wanted to let you all know that, and we'll keep you advised if those things do happen.
So watch the social media platforms, people. Watch the social media platforms.
Dr. Robinson, you look like you wanted to say something.
No, I did not.
I wasn't going to spill the beans because we don't know anything yet. I'll tell you later.
He had this look on his face, though. He was like, and I was like, he looks like a little kid trying to get teachers' attention.
Because he doesn't want to talk about it because he doesn't want to jinx himself.
I completely understand. I totally, completely, 100% understand. You know me.
I do. That's why I just
went through this. So, anyways, today's show.
On topic.
Like last time, we had the What Sport Is It game?
Which was hilarious. I listened to that episode and I was just like, what's wrong with this?
This week, while battling and not having a whole lot of time to do research, went and found unique sports from around the world.
I can't wait. Because does anything beat hobby horsing? Because, my God, I still,
hobbying.
I start to tear up every time I think about it.
But, yes. So,
I just made a post about it. That's why.
Let's talk about hobbying. But, I'm going to start off with a couple, if I count 5 sports that are normal sports. Sports that you should be able to name, so we're going to start with that familiar format.
Okay.
And then when we switch over to the world sports, I'm going to see if you can figure out what country or what area of the world it may have been developed in. Only because you're not going to know the names for these sports.
Oh, is it in their land of language too? Or is it just because
some of them.
It's just such an obscure sport? I wouldn't know.
Some of them are in native languages, and some of them, it's just obscure. And mainly because it's not necessarily a worldwide sport. It's kind of regional.
Okay.
Not necessarily only in one country, but in a region where that country would be.
Gotcha. Okay.
But these first 5 that I'm starting off with, I wanted to talk about because some of them relate back to these world sports.
This ought to be real interesting. I'm excited. Let's see how much of a fool we can make of ourselves this week. I sense it coming.
So, sport number 1. You ready, Eli? You got your mic on over there?
Yeah, you got to pay attention.
Now I do.
You spend how much time? Are you ready? Please stand by. And you're not even ready to go. No, you don't.
No.
Petty.
Look, man, you need to get your caffeine in you.
Yeah, open that can of C4.
So this first sport is an equestrian sport.
Okay.
It is also a stick and ball sport.
Polo.
How did he get that one?
I was waiting. I kind of knew what it was when you said equestrian, but I just want to know if he knew what equestrian was. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying that doesn't seem like the kind of thing you would be into. I'm proud. You know what? I'm proud of you. You're much more diverse in some things than I thought.
Do you go down and watch the polo games at the polo fields in Chagrin?
No.
Did you know we had polo fields in Chagrin?
No.
Me either.
I used to go as a kid. I grew up on an equestrian college, and we would go to see some of the girls ride and play.
Is that just open to the public? Mm-hmm. Can you just go?
Yeah, you can go and watch.
We should go. You know, when it's not winter.
Like when they actually play polo?
Yeah. I'm putting that on the list as an activity for us to do.
Okay. This next sport is commonly played on schoolyards.
Okay.
It was especially popular in the late 90s and early 2000s.
I think I know what it is. Go ahead.
It involves a small beanbag.
Hacky sack.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. You know what? I said this time I was going to keep score, but we're not doing the game format.
Although keep dodgeball in your mind because there is actually one of these sports based on
I suck at dodgeball.
I know the taste of that red ball.
Man, we had multicolored balls in my school.
Ours were always those terrible red, like rubbery.
They were the same balls,
just different colors. Oh no,
and
ours were
like you got different points if you were hit by different colors.
Really?
Yes.
Who was keeping track?
The sound terrorizes me.
That
Yeah.
that weird rubbery
thump. Well, because we had mats at the end of our gym. Oh, so when the ball would hit the mat, it had this like smacking sound.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you get the kid. Oh, I hated playing with the kids who threw super hard. And like the moment it was past your head and you hit the wall, you're just like, I quit. Because if that kid hits me with that ball, I'm out of here.
In this sport, the athletes have a very special high-calorie diet.
Okay.
This sport is part spiritual and part sport.
Not wrestling, is it?
This sport has a uniform that is very revealing, yet has spiritual significance.
No, not yoga. It's a what?
The most characteristic part of this sport is at the opening when the participants greet each other by stomping their feet.
I
have no clue.
I'm
you guys don't know sumo?
Sumo! Oh. I was like, you were on the right track with wrestling, though.
You were. I was like, I almost wanted to be like, a half a ding.
Okay, 1.5, like team golf. Okay. Wow, I don't know why that didn't occur to me. I was like, spiritual. First thing I thought it was like yoga, but that's not a sport. And then went Pilates, and I was like, that's not a sport.
I mean, I thought I was giving it away with the high-calorie diet. The very specialized high-calorie diet.
I don't know
so
why.
They only eat certain foods. Like, literally, it's not just that it's high-calorie, but it's specific foods.
Like, period. Wow.
And the trainees have to make it for the masters.
Really? Interesting. It's no joke, man. It's weird. You think sumo wrestlers are so out of shape, but, like, they really train hard.
They really, really do. I should have actually said, it's one of my favorite characters to play in Street Fighter.
Wait, if I had said E. Honda, would you have known what I was talking about?
No.
I would have known that, though.
If you would have said fat bastard, then I'd probably know. From Austin Powers.
Of course.
So, okay. This next sport is played in a pool.
Water polo.
Yes.
The only sport I can think of in a pool.
Besides swimming.
Besides diving and swimming, you're right. And these are like not your typical sports, so.
Okay.
Although it could have been like synchronized swimming. I don't know.
I mean, we did do synchronized swimming last time.
That's true.
Okay.
Yay me.
This sport is played on a pitch.
Okay.
This sport has up to 25 players per team, though usually international play is 7.
Okay.
This sport has a scrum.
Rugby.
Hmm.
I was thinking cricket when you said pitch,
I was thinking about cricket too.
and then you said scrum, and I was like, oh, we talk about that all the time.
Rugby. Yeah, rugby is played on a pitch.
Didn't know that.
Well, internationally, most places don't call, even the soccer fields internationally are pitches, soccer pitches.
Are they?
Yes.
Never heard that. Well,
so
never...
the rest of the world calls a field a pitch.
Why does America always just so different?
Because we're Americans.
Because we're Americans.
I'm proud of it.
Yeehaw!
Bob Serpentini there.
Right. Oh, shit, I can't even take a drink of water. Okay, let's continue.
Okay, so now we're moving into some of those more obscure, unique sports from around the world.
Okay.
And like I said, I think the easiest way to do this is to see if you can kind of figure out what country they come from.
Okay.
Okay.
Good luck.
Yeah, I mean, honestly. So I'm going to start with what I think is the one that you probably would be most into.
Okay.
Okay. This is one of the newer sports on the list. It was developed in 1989.
Okay.
It is a combination of dodgeball and snowball fighting. There are 7-person teams, and each team gets 90 pre-made snowballs. There are also obstacles to hide behind on the course.
Wait.
After all the snowballs are gone, the team with the most players still on the field wins. It is televised throughout most of Asia, and the name is Yuki-Gasan. Any idea as to what country it comes from?
Japan?
China.
Japan.
Ah. Okay. I figured it was going to be one of those two.
Yep. Dodgeball and snowball fighting.
What? It sounds so much like paintball, too. Like it's
Yeah, except you don't have a gun, so that's why it's like
Can you
dodgeball
imagine a
snowball
gun
fights.
involved in that? That would be so bad. You get blasted in the face with a
Well, honestly,
high-powered snowball.
what it reminds me of is American Gladiators.
It is American Gladiators with the little ball and they shoot up the top. Oh my gosh. Who comes up with these things?
This isn't even the craziest, okay?
Oh my gosh.
This isn't, like I said, I think this is the one you would enjoy the most.
I would probably really enjoy that. I would hate it and enjoy it at the same time because I would lose. I would be like knocked out the first time.
Okay, this next one is one of the early precursors to rugby.
Okay.
You have 27 bare-chested players per side, which means, of course, there's no women's version.
So it goes without saying.
We are dumb enough for that. Anyways, full contact version allows for headbutting, punching, elbowing, and choking.
What the hell is this sport?
It had lost popularity but came back in the 1930s. It has very ancient roots. Its ancient name would have been Harpastrum, but it is also known as Calcio Storico. What country?
Italy?
Yes.
I was listening to the names.
The Calcio Storico.
I was going to say Ireland.
You know what? When at first
there actually is an early precursor to rugby from Scotland too, where they would take the
look at you.
scrums all through town. Like the scrum would just go all the way through town. Yeah, down the streets and stuff. Yeah.
So savage.
They didn't really have like goal ends or anything. It was literally like you didn't have like teams that came at each other across the line.
Right.
You literally just had scrums of people just pushing the ball back and forth.
I can't even imagine how unorganized that looks.
Yeah.
Don't have to go to the store that day. You might get caught up in the middle.
Okay. I'm going to go with this one because I can actually say this one. I'm fairly certain.
You won't butcher it?
I'm fairly certain. Okay. So this is a combination of pole vaulting, climbing, and jumping.
Okay.
The description I read online asked, do you like jumping in and or over puddles?
Okay.
It was born as a practical way to cross a swampy canal.
Well.
You use the pole vault to pole vault the canal and then attempt to climb up the pole and land as far as possible onto the other bank.
Okay.
The name is Fjärsläppen,
Germany?
Scotland.
and it means far leaping. It's from the Netherlands.
Somewhat
okay.
close. Somewhat
Yeah.
close. Okay. It sounds almost like the Scottish games, like it would be part of the Scottish games.
Well, that's the thing. I started to think I should look up some of the Scottish games
Yeah.
things because those are crazy too. Oh, hey, I don't know if I'm gonna save this one for later.
Oh
'Cause
gosh. Okay.
This one made me laugh, but I'm gonna save that one for later. We'll skip that one for now. Okay, so this is a bat and ball sport.
Okay.
The teams try to hit a ball at each other. When you are the defending team, you use a pizza paddle sized bat. So like those paddles that they used to take things out of old stone ovens.
Yeah.
Called a Schindel to keep the ball from landing in your zone. The name of the sport is Horhusen,
German.
India?
Switzerland.
Oh, okay. How a pizza-sized paddle?
So literally I found there are pictures in this article.
Spell
and
this.
Schindel is Schindel and Horhusen is Horhussen.
Okay.
And the picture online, it literally looks like they took the thing from their stone oven.
And just went.
And it might actually even be bigger.
So you're hitting it at each other, like you're trying to hit somebody?
So you're if you are the offensive team, you're hitting a ball, and they don't go into like great detail in the article. You're hitting a ball at the other team, and the defending team, to keep it from hitting the ground, are using these giant paddles to pop
That
it back
almost
up in the air.
seems like an unfair advantage. Like, how am I supposed to do that if everybody on that team has one?
I mean, I don't know how big the field is or how many players
True.
there are, but
I'm gonna have to try to find a picture or something to post about it. Spell the first name again. SCHA.
SCHINDEL.
DEL. Okay, you did good on these You're doing good on these pronunciations.
I'm trying.
I see the effort because you really think about it before you say it.
Okay. So this one's going to give it away if I tell you the name.
Okay.
It's going to tell you what country it came from. But did you know that there is a form of traditional wrestling that allows blows to the head, MMA style?
Well, that's not Greek wrestling.
It's not Greco-Roman wrestling. And it comes from Africa.
Oh, don't tell me. Damn it. I'll know what it is, too.
It comes from...
What is the name of that? It's like a martial art, isn't it?
Any kind of wrestling is a martial art, but this is a traditional grappling form that also allows hits like MMA.
Okay.
And it's from Africa. It's Senegalese wrestling.
Senegal. That was easy.
I told you once I gave you the name, it would,
So you could just you can really kick somebody in the head,
It's
punch
the
somebody in the
only
head.
traditional wrestling that allows blows to the head.
That is crazy. Concussions everywhere. Concussion for you. You get a concussion. You get a concussion. You get a concussion. Ding.
Mm-hmm. Anyways.
Right.
I will not ding myself.
I did it already. Ding, ding.
Well, you don't have the bell over here.
It doesn't matter.
Sorry.
I still did it.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's all right. I'm going to get a sound effect.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
In this sport, you are... This one's just crazy. It's so hard to try to describe. It's it's like the craziest
Is
thing.
it like trying to play Taboo?
This is kind of like trying to play Taboo. So in this equestrian sport, you are trying to carry a goat carcass into the opposing team's circle of justice, quote unquote. Okay. Unsanctioned games can last for days.
Okay.
It is based on polo. So it not necessarily that it's based on polo, but if you were going to compare it
to something,
a European sport, it would be similar to polo in the fact that you are horseback and you are trying to keep.
I mean, the goat carcass is what's getting my goat. No pun intended. I just realized what I said.
But the name of the sport is buzkashi.
Buzkashi. Japan?
Africa?
Bukashi. Don't tell me.
Italy?
Bukashi. What would that be? Korea?
German?
What?
You guys haven't even hit the...
Oh, we're not even in the right continent?
Australia?
Yeah, you guys haven't even hit the part of the landmass.
Antarctica. South America. I'm just throwing out countries now. Where is it?
So it's they called it Central Asian polo, and it's huge in Afghanistan and Pakistan.
Would have never guessed
that. Would be my next guess.
I would have never... You know what? The goat carcass thing should have given it away. So wait. I know you don't know, but my brain's like, please say it's like a preserved goat carcass. If it can last days, for the love of Pete, the smell. That's why I went, So they were on horseback.
Carrying a
goat carcass. Like a dead goat.
Yeah, usually a smaller, like, baby goat.
Okay.
Or sometimes even a calf. A baby cow.
I guess whatever. Oh, you got to entertain yourself somehow.
And... your team is trying to carry this goat carcass into the opposing team's circle of justice. Which means the other team is trying to steal the goat from you or keep you out of that circle.
Wow, and it can last days.
Unsanctioned games can last days.
My. Moving on. I don't want to think about the dead goat anymore. Oh, I think that might have beat hobbying. I didn't
No.
Oh, we haven't even got there yet? Oh, man.
No.
I don't know if I can handle it.
Okay. In this sport, you are combining tag and capture the flag.
Ooh, okay. Tag, capture flag. 40
nations worldwide play this. Including teams in the U.S.
Okay.
Teams attempt to send their raider to the defensive side of the field to tag as many opponents as possible without being stopped, tagged, or tackled.
Wow. This sounds pretty intense.
The name of the sport is kabaddi.
Oh, gosh. Istanbul.
Close, but not quite.
Really? Because that was just me saying, because that's a country that I've just been wanting to say.
India?
Istanbul is closer, but not quite.
Afghanistan?
Constantinople?
Iraq?
Constantinople is the city.
I heard you say it. I had to say it.
Africa?
No, we're getting further away that way.
Further away that way.
You're
like
Kazakhstan.
Really close with India.
Britain?
Are you trying now?
Geographically.
Oh.
He's thinking historically.
Oh, okay. I can see that.
Spain? Italy?
Close to India.
Somewhere in Asia, then.
Yes, it's on the Indian subcontinent. Think in the Himalayas.
China?
I don't know. You're gonna say it, I'm mad.
Bangladesh.
Damn it. I knew I was gonna be mad.
It is the national sport of Bangladesh.
What is it called?
Kabaddi.
So a mix of capture the flag and tag.
Right. So basically, you are trying to tag out as many people.
Okay.
on the opposing line
without you getting
tagged.
That sounds really crazy and hectic. Is it? I need to see one of these fields, like, because I need to know if there's obstacles you hide behind. Like,
it didn't look like it on the picture.
It's almost like just open air flag football. If you can get tagged or tackled, that's what kind of makes me think of.
Yeah, it's kind of like I said. The reason I say capture the flag is because basically there's a goal area.
Okay.
That everybody's kind of in on both sides, from what I could tell, and you're like basically sending somebody across. It's almost Red Rover.
So do you just send like one person?
I don't know. Like they only show. Still.
Okay, I got you.
But it looked like it was almost Red Rover type of thing.
Interesting. Okay, Bangladesh.
Okay.
It's like a countries of the world test. We failed. We don't know our geography.
So I'm going to start with the easier to pronounce version of this.
Okay.
So there are two very similar, and actually on the list there were three more that I was like, there's no way in heck I can even try pronouncing these names. Very similar sports from across the world that were all developed separately, if you believe it or not.
But somehow ended up being like each other.
Very much the same.
Okay.
This sport, again, is one of the newer sports on this list. Mm-hmm. It's not traditional. It's a combination of volleyball, soccer, and trampoline.
Okay.
Each team has a trampoline surface that they're playing on, and the nets are very high up in the air.
So you're slam ball?
You're bouncing the whole time?
Each time you hit the ball, you can have up to 5 hits on the ball per volley.
Okay.
1 hit can be with the hands or arms. The other 4 hits in the volley have to be with the feet, chest, head, or legs.
Wow. Okay.
You get extra points for doing gymnastic flips.
Okay.
The name of the game is Bassa Ball.
Bassa Ball.
Italy?
I was thinking the same thing.
Spain.
Oh, yeah, okay. Fair.
It was created by a volleyball player who had done gymnastics when he was younger.
Bassa, B-A-S-A?
B-A-S-S-A, ball.
B-A.
So it's like Bassa wood.
I can't even imagine, like...
Well, hold on. I told you. There's similarities with other games around the world, too.
Backflip over a volleyball net.
So you're not doing it
Well, I mean, like kicking the ball, like doing backflip and the ball goes.
Okay,
like...
so how about this one? Volleyball plus soccer minus the trampolines.
Okay.
It's popular throughout Southeast Asia. The name of the game, and I'm going to butcher this, but it's going to be as close as possible, is Sepak Takraw.
Sepak Takraw.
Okay? And
sounds Asian-y.
It looks very much like a martial art with a volleyball.
I bet you get some crazy looking moves.
Mm-mm.
Korea?
Mm-mm.
China?
Mm-mm. It is Southeast Asia, though.
Indonesia?
It's very popular there, but that's not where it started.
Look at you with the Indonesia.
This is also known as the Land of 1,000 Temples. That probably doesn't help you at all. I'm sorry, history buff.
I want to say India.
Mm-mm.
I know what you... Taiwan. No.
Thailand.
Thailand.
Oh.
You
Dang
had it.
It was right
You
there.
said it, and then you backed off of it.
I did.
Then, yeah.
I was like, that can't be right.
Thailand. So it's a national game in Taiwan.
I bet that game has to look fancy as heck. Like, can you imagine, like, the fancy moves they pull off to kick that ball over the net? You know, minus the trampoline, and they're still able to do it?
Right, so they basically are doing... So basically the net's not as high. It's the same as a volleyball net.
Right.
They are jumping up and doing kicks. The difference that I could see was that in this game, you can't use your hands at all.
Well, I mean, I guess that sort of makes sense because you don't have to be, you're not that high up in the air.
Well, like the Bassa Ball, you get 1 hit with your hands and arms like traditional volleyball.
Yeah.
This one, all of your hits have to come from your feet and your legs.
That is crazy. Oh my gosh, the flexibility though. I can barely touch my toes some mornings.
Okay. This one started off as a way for players of water polo to play when they could not find a pool deep enough to play in.
Okay.
Okay. It allows them to play in the shallow natural waters around the edge of their country. It's a kind of a mix between water polo and hacky sack. There are 5 players. They stand in a circle, batting around a tennis ball, trying to keep it from hitting the water. The name, and again, I probably am not pronouncing this right because technically the name is translated from Cyrillic. So I'm probably not pronouncing this right at all. But it looks like it should be Pikigin.
Pikigin.
But remember, it's translated from the Cyrillic alphabet.
I don't even know what
Africa.
Do you all know what the Cyrillic alphabet is?
I have no idea. I don't even know where to start with this one.
So the Cyrillic alphabet is the alphabet of Russia.
Oh, Russia.
Russia.
Doesn't come from Russia.
I had to throw it out
It'd be
there.
too simple.
It seemed too obvious, but I was like, why not? Okay. Is it in that geographical area?
It would be in that greater USSR
Slovenia.
area.
Ireland.
Do you even know where the USSR was?
That's the Soviet Union.
Yeah, I know.
Ireland.
Not
That-
Slovenia.
Ukraine?
Slovakia? Turkey.
Ukraine.
I'm trying to think of countries in that area. I don't know them all like that.
Croatia.
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 I wouldn't have guessed that. I just know I wouldn't have. But we were in the right area.
Okay.
Except
So-
for that Ireland comment.
I refuse. Like I said, we failed geography. Good thing this isn't the proficiency test.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Y'all, I need some help over there.
Hey, he got some interesting country guesses, though, I have to say.
I mean, they were.
Just
Okay.
wrong, moving in the wrong direction most of the time.
Wait. No, I said near India. Greenland?
Canada.
I'm ridiculous because we're making fun of him.
Oh.
You know what? I got something
Hit-
better. There you go.
Okay. So, this one, you have skiing plus horses or dogs.
Skiing plus horses or dogs?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The horses or dogs pull skiers down a course that sometimes includes small jumps.
Okay.
Switzerland.
Fair guess.
Close.
Austria.
Would you let her finish?
Sorry.
The name of the sport is skijoring.
Skijoring. Switzerland was a very good guess.
Switzerland was a very good guess. It is part of that whole Norse area.
Denmark.
No.
I don't know. Antarctica? I don't know.
Antarctica's at the bottom of the world.
I was trying to think of the one up top, but I couldn't think of it.
But it's not a continent. It doesn't actually exist.
Greenland?
It's a space in the
Oh,
globe.
well.
Yeah. No, not Greenland. In the Norse area, you have Norway.
Norway. You were way closer than I was, like, south of the border. Opposite end of the planet. I was like, there's snow there. I know that much.
Okay.
I heard skis. I thought snow. At first, I thought Canada. That's why I said, stop saying stuff. Let her finish. You're rubbing off on me, Elijah. Stop it.
Okay. I don't even know where we are time-wise at this point.
Yeah, where are we?
About 34 minutes.
Oh, we're doing great.
I'm going to have to look up more things. Although this one we could talk about and talk about and talk about how ridiculous this is.
Okay.
Because it's almost as silly as the Hobbying. I read about this and I was like, you mean that's not just a thing from a comedy show? And I can't say what comedy show because it would give away what country it comes from.
Oh, God. Okay, let's go. Let's just get out the way.
This has a history that dates back to the 1600s.
Of course it does.
It's one-on-one combat. Opponents hold each other's upper bodies, usually around the shoulder or the chest.
Okay.
They do not let go. and they attempt to take each other down with nothing but kicks to the shin. Combatants usually wear steel-toed or hard-toed shoes and stuff their pants with straw or foam.
What the hell is that supposed to do?
The name of the sport is shin kicking. He's not even paying attention at this point, and Gina's about to lose it.
Who would stand there just be like,
I was like, what? This wasn't something that I just saw on that comedy show? Again, you have to give me with a country you think it's from.
Okay.
Dates back to the 1600s.
Greece. Rome.
It's called shin kicking.
Oh, God. Okay. I'm crying. I'm trying to focus.
England.
It is from England.
Who stands there and just lets somebody kick them in the shin?
Okay, so I'm seeing this. I'm like, you mean that wasn't just a thing from Monty Python?
Oh.
And I'm reading this, and I'm just like, oh my God. I always just thought that was like something that noble
That he
dudes
made
did.
up.
Like it's in like all of these like old novels about like British aristocracy, and I just thought it was something that nobles did at one point in time because they didn't actually want to wrestle.
Right. It's beneath us to get and wrestle one another, so we're just going to kick each other in the shin.
So I'm just going to sit here and kick you in the shin.
When you said steel-toe shoes, all I could think was how many broken fibulas there are out there.
Well, and I don't know that they're actually steel-toed, but it does say
hardened
toes.
Can you like? It's bad enough when you like somebody like you like hit your leg on something, but like to intentionally stand there and be like, "Come here, let me almost hug you," but then kick you in the shit. Oh, people! This is what happens when boredom takes over.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so glad I didn't put on makeup today. Okay.
So I'm actually going to look up the Scottish or the Highland Games events.
Oh, it's so funny. Shin kick. Now I have to see. Wait, now I have to look up a video. Like hobbying.
I told you some of these were as good as hobbying, okay?
Look at him kick. I'm putting a video up of this for you guys. And you know what the sad part was? Like, when I was posting the videos and like I said last time I was going to post a video about hobbying and like the legitimacy of like how people take and train for that. I felt really bad for laughing at it. And I feel like when I go back and look at this, I won't feel as bad. Oh, humanity. We're capable of such great things and such dumb things at the same time. Oh, thank you, Amy. I needed that.
Sure thing, Gina.
You guys made my day.
Well, I saw that one and I was like, you've got to be.
That's not real. And when it makes you wonder, like, how much other stuff that you see is like, I wonder if that's real too. Like, everything you see that's ridiculous, now you feel like you got to Google it. Because, you know, Google knows all.
Well, and like I said, I got this article. Most of these sports came off of this article on Stacker called 25 Unique Sports from Around the World.
Okay.
And there were ones that I skipped because I knew I wasn't going to.
You weren't even going to bother.
Or I wasn't going to be able to pronounce where they came from or whatever. So I'm just going back through there. Like, there's this one that I just didn't. I was like, what? So this is actually the youngest sport on their list. Developed by 2 retired Marine combat water safety trainers.
Okay.
In 2017. 2 teams of 5 play at the bottom of a deep pool in a form of underwater football, and it's called torpedo.
What?
Apparently, it's only played by Marine combat veterans who have gone through this training.
Can you imagine? Like, the everyday man would not be able to pull that off.
But there's like a version of handball that's played in the middle of the street in Italy, in Tuscany.
Wow.
Yeah.
So many broken windows.
But yeah, there's like a whole bunch of things. There's one that is the national sport of the Philippines. Is a weapon-based sport where you are playing with sticks, blades, swords, and improvised weapons to attack your opponent.
Whoa.
predates the arrival of Europeans, but there's no written history of the sport's inception because it was a verbal history at that point.
Oh, I figure it's just because people nobody lived. Most people died.
So the form of rugby that was in Scotland that we talked about earlier is just called ba.
Ba.
Game.
Ba. Okay.
But yeah, so there's like I said, there's lots of them on here that I did not go over because I was like, I'm not going to be able to properly do this. So I did look up the Highland Games.
Okay.
From visitscotland.com to see if I can find a list of what events they have. So give me just a second while I...
It's okay, because this shin kicking has got me going. Like, I literally... Oh, there's women who do this too, and they don't even have hard shoes. Well, maybe those shoes... Nope, they just kicking each other. Just kicking each other.
Well, you don't know. They could have reinforced the toes on their shoes on their own.
Maybe. But she got on Vans.
Oh, yeah, you can... I actually... They sell steel-toed Vans.
What?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I didn't know
so
that.
you can have Vans when you work in your, like, you know...
I mean, I guess that's a comfortable shoe for you. So I want to ask one of them, like, do you just kick the other person till they just can't stand up anymore?
Basically, you're trying to get them to go to the ground based on your kicks. Yes.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that was a hard one.
Are you just watching?
I'm just watching them kick the living crap out of each other's legs. Like, he didn't stand a chance. He was done. That was on YouTube. I will post a video of this for you guys because it's just incredible to watch this happen. Oh, look, there's so much straw in his pants. I'm closing my computer screen. Can't do it. Oh, mercy.
Okay.
Merry Christmas. Ow. I hit myself in the face with my water bottle.
You were laughing so hard you hit yourself in the face.
Typical for me. Why was that a ding?
Okay, so Scottish game events.
Okay.
They actually break the Scottish games into different sections.
Okay.
As far as what types of events there are. There are what's known as heavy events.
Okay, that makes sense.
There's music, there's dance, and then there are other attractions.
Music, really?
Yes. So they have a music competition, a dance competition. So you actually have Highland steppers and cloggers competing in dance. You have music competitions, and then you have what they call the heavy events.
Okay. Well, now that you say clogging and steppers, okay, that totally makes sense.
So the heavy events.
Get my nose off the mic. I'm sorry, guys. I was breathing like a dragon.
Now, there's also foot races that go on at most of these. They don't include it here on the list, but there are foot races that happen at most of these as well.
Don't they televise the Scotland?
Some of them, yes.
Okay, because I know I've seen it on TV before.
Yeah, there are variations that are televised, but so each county in Scotland will hold their own Scottish games throughout the summer, and then I think they go to a big Scottish game,
like a countrywide.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna go back to what are they doing? If you know any of the names of the Scottish events, or whatever. But I'm gonna describe some stuff, and then we'll I'll let you know what it is.
Okay.
So I already knew about this event. I could not remember what it was called. Okay. So this one is basically where you have, for lack of a better term, something that equates to a telephone pole.
Okay.
Okay. It is a very long log stood upright and hoisted by the competitor, who balances it vertically, holding the smaller end in his hands. So if you look at a telephone pole and it's tapered towards the top, you are holding the top of the telephone pole in your hands. When the competitor runs forward, attempting to then toss the telephone pole in such a way that it flips end over end, with the upper or larger end striking the ground first. The smaller end that was originally held by the athlete then hits the ground at the 12 o'clock position, measured relative to the direction of the run. If successful, the athlete is said to have turned the pole or the caber over. Cabers vary in length, weight, taper, and balance depending on the age and difficulty and seniority of the games.
Okay.
So, you could be in the junior competition, you could be in the lightweight competition, you could be in the heavyweight competition.
I figured there had to be stages to this.
Yeah. So competitors are judged on how closely the throws approximate the ideal 12 o'clock toss on an imaginary clock.
Okay.
The name of the event is caber tossing.
That's one I've seen on TV.
That's the one you generally see on TV.
Yeah.
They're holding it somewhere near the belt of their kilt, and they are then running forward and trying to toss it. What's another set of games that we should look into for randomness at some point in time?
What?
Lumberjack games. Anyways,
you have told me about that, and I was like, "You're a liar."
No. When I grew up in Geauga County, part of one of the things that they would do during the Maple Festival is they had like the log running and the axe tossing. Yeah.
Really?
Anyways, so
you know what? I look at these lists and I'm like, you know what? Ohio is like the perfect state to do a lot of this stuff because we have so many of these areas.
Well, and we do have a Scottish Games that happens here in Ohio.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like another thing we need to be going to, guys.
So we all know what a shot put is.
Yes.
Okay. It's where you have that little iron ball that looks like a cannonball that you hold next to your neck and you spin around and then you push it forward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, from your neck. Well, they have a version of it in Scotland. It's not quite the same.
He said, well.
By the way, if you all ever want to actually see a lot of these events,
mm-hmm.
Rick Steves' Europe Vacation series on PBS,
mm-hmm.
Rick Steves does a Scottish Games edition.
Does he?
Yes.
Okay, I will look that up.
So you can look that up.
Because I have I don't have I'm not fancy like you, but I do have the PBS app on my Roku.
So,
I was about to say Rick Grimes. Rick Steves.
Rick Steves' Europe.
Oh, Gina. Okay, go ahead.
But they have the stone put.
So not the shot put, the stone put. Okay.
It is putting a heavy stone. Okay. This event is most similar to shot put, as seen in the Olympics. Instead of a steel shot, a very large stone of variable weight is often used. There are other differences in technique. The Braemar stone uses 20 to 26 pounds for men and 13 to 18 pounds for women, and does not allow any run up to the toe board to deliver the stone.
Oh, so you just like...
It's a standing put.
It's a straight up strength competition at that point. Okay.
It's a standing put. In the open stone competition, you are using a 16 to 22 pound stone for men and 8 to 12 pounds for women, and the thrower is allowed to use any throwing style so long as the stone is put with one hand with the stone resting or cradled near the neck until the moment of release. Most athletes in the open stone event use a glide or spin technique like you would for shot put.
Oh, okay.
So,
I mean, you must be real strong to be able to just go.
The Scottish hammer throw. Hammer throw, hammer throw, hammer throw. It's kind of like what you expect Molinar to look like, okay?
Oh, okay.
So
for those of you who don't know, that's Thor's hammer.
It is very similar to the hammer thrown seen on modern track and field events.
Okay.
Which is not an event that they typically show on TV.
Is that an Olympic sport too?
I believe it is part of the Olympic track and field.
Is hammer throw part of the Olympic track and field? Oh, okay.
Again, it's not one they show on TV typically.
Yeah.
So, in the Scottish event, a round metal ball weighing 16 or 20 pounds for men, 12 to 16 pounds for women is attached to the end of a shaft about 4 feet in length. So it's not so much like a traditional hammer as we think of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a rounded mound at the end of a stick.
Okay.
Like it would
Real
look like
basic.
Prehistoric hammer.
I was about to say caveman hammer. Okay.
Yes. It is Fred Flintstone's hammer.
There you go.
Go that way.
Is it so easy a caveman can do it?
Oh, boo. Ding. You were quiet this whole time.
Wah. Remember, that's his sound effect. With the feet in a fixed position, the hammer is whirled about one's head and thrown for a distance over the shoulder.
That is a Thor thing.
Is it like Xena? Like, like Xena.
Wasn't your mic off? It was so much better.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Sorry.
Okay, bye. Ding.
So the main thing is that you have to maintain your balance while the centrifugal forces of the hammer being whirled around the head try to knock you out of place.
Now, is this shaft like still, or is it on a string?
Wood staff.
Okay.
It's a wood shaft, so that's why it's a shaft and not like the weight throw where it's like a ball and chain.
Okay. Okay. I got
But
it.
it's made out of
Just
wood,
like Lucy
bamboo,
Lawless.
rattan, or plastic.
Got it.
So
I'm just saying it's like Lucy Lawless.
Anyways,
Shh. Hush, puppy.
I don't know that they've got this on the list here, but in the Rick Steves event, there is one they show where he is trying to run with a weighted stone. So yeah.
It sound in comparison to all the other things you've talked about, it sounds so basic and rudimentary. It's like that's just a warm up, right? It's not a real event.
Yeah. So they have one called Weight Over the Bar.
Okay. Wait. Is it literally what it sounds like?
A weight is thrown for height over a bar. So it's like
It is.
it's like the high jump.
Yeah.
It's like, pole vaulting, but you're throwing a very heavy object over the bar.
They love their heavy objects. That's what I'll say. I wonder if some of these games are based off of like war, like having to load things fast, move heavy equipment fast.
There's a sheaf toss where a sheaf of straw, a bundle of straw.
I thought you said sheep. I was like, that poor sheep. Animal cruelty.
Only you would think that the Scots would throw their sheep, okay? The Scots are smarter than that.
I don't know.
Not to mention the sheep wouldn't put up with it.
I think not. Those sheep would probably be like, "Oh, hell with this."
With a very strong Scottish brogue, they'd be like, "F you, man."
Right. I don't know how to do a Scottish accent. I'm gonna practice for you, Eli.
It's hard enough for me to do a
He
Scottish.
looked up so quick.
It's hard enough for me to do an Irish accent. I'm
Yeah.
not even trying Scottish.
I can do British, but that's about as far as it goes.
But they use a bundle of straw, a sheaf of straw,
Okay, what?
wrapped in burlap, weighing 20 pounds for the men or 10 pounds for women. So it'd be what you would carry if you were a farmer gathering your straw.
Makes sense.
Okay?
Fair.
It's wrapped in burlap and it's tossed vertically using a pitchfork over a raised bar, much like that used in pole vaulting.
I have no comment. You threw in pitchfork, and I was just like, "Yep."
Yeah, you're using the pitchfork to throw the...
Oh my! So
So
that
it's
one
just
is
like-
very
it's-
clearly
it's
like,
very much throwing your straw up into
Into
the
the ba-
wagon.
yeah. Or I can see it like throwing it into in your barn.
Oh, up into the hayloft.
Thank you. Why was that escaping me? It literally has the same name.
So yes, so the
Hayloft.
music competitions are basically the bagpipe competitions.
Okay.
So if you don't like bagpipes,
You will not like
don't
that.
go to the competitions.
You're gonna get your feelings hurt.
But I find them it's pipes and drums,
Okay.
which I absolutely love. There's also a fiddling competition, a Celtic harping competition, which the Celtic harp is not the same as a traditional harp. And then the dance, as we talked, are Highland dancers, step dancers.
That would probably be my favorite part of that because I love that kind of
cloggers,
stuff.
Which looks very similar to Lord of the Dance stuff, but is not the same as the Irish dancing that we got introduced to through Lord of the Dance.
Gotcha.
Similar, not matching.
Okay.
And then they have herd dog in the modern attractions, the secondary attractions. They have dog herding. So like you've got your dogs out there herding sheep. And there is apparently people selling likenesses of the Loch Ness Monster. Some events have for the kids a Slay the Monster event.
Oh, that's cute. Your nephews would love it.
I mean, you know.
So would his.
So those are some of the.
It's very like agriculturally based.
It is. It is very, 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 very agriculturally based. And they, on this Wikipedia site, list all of the major events throughout the world. So they've got all the ones in Scotland and all the ones in other countries. But all of this actually goes back to the clans warring for land.
I figured.
So this is actually, a lot of this stuff was ways that they could war without killing people.
So that whoever won like these games,
they won. Their clan won. They were literally fighting for their clan, their family name.
Wow, can you imagine like how smart is that? Like no bloodshed. We don't have to worry about losing anybody. Just whoever wins wins. You earn the right to have this land.
Or it became, you know, a pride thing basically.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. I'm sorry, guys. My throat was clogged up there for a second.
But yeah, it lists all of the major ones throughout the U.S. and the closest one listed here is in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, which isn't that far.
No, really?
So, yep.
So I'm assuming like every single one is a little bit different as far as like the games they play or the version of the games they play.
They'll have very similar games. They may have the secondary games, like I said, will be the ones that will change up what they do for the kids, what the herding events look like, and all of that.
Gotcha.
So we are being told that we are like literally out of time.
Yeah, pretty much. But this was a very good one. I like that. We should do these kind of shows more often because there's always a new sport somewhere in the world.
Not only that, but like I said, you know, the next time we want to talk about something obscure, let's go and look at those lumberjack games.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be awesome.
I mean, and the popularity of axe throwing is incredible. There's an axe throwing place here in Cleveland. We need to go.
There is. We have such a laundry list of things that we need to do, like just little things. You know. Even if we hate it, we can just say, so we did it.
I threw an axe. It didn't come back and bounce me and hit me in the head.
I didn't kill anyone.
I mean, that's the only reason I haven't asked you to go yet, Gina, is because I know how accident prone you are. I'm like,
I don't think
Gina's luck, it will bounce back and hit her in the head.
Don't say that. I don't think it'd be that bad. But for myself,
Amy,
Dr. Robinson.
Oh, your mic was on. Thank you for listening. We love to hear back from you. Which of these games kind of got you like, people?
The shin kicking.
That hands down. But on that note, we will see you all on the next one. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Gmail. We'll see you next time. Bye, humans.